Hello and welcome to Glorious Miniatures. My name's Jolyon, and in today's video we have another Sunday preview. It's the 14th of July 2024. Let's get into it. Horrors in the Underhells and dwarves in the Old World. We've got some Old World action I like to hear. The many worlds of Warhammer are full of dangerous environments, and in next week's Saturday pre-order we're dipping into one of the most hostile places going, Hive Secundus. Wartor lands of the Old World are only slightly safer, but the furrowed brows and tightly gripped axes of the dwarfs are going to make them a little more troublesome for anyone who has courted their ire. Ha! Oh, baby. Okay. Venture into the ruined underhells of Hive Secundus in this new expansion for Necromunda. 8 Vansar tech hunters aim to pillage rare tech from the dark depths of Hive Secundus are joined by 2 Horus Spire hunters and Caryatid Prime, okay, with a deadlier purpose, hunting gene stealers. The corrupted Malstrain brood is composed of 6 Malstrain gene stealers, 4 Malstrain Pyramites, and 8 brood scum in thrall to the brood mine. Have a quick look. So we do have these delicious miniatures right here. Open those up in a new tab. So, Hive Secundus comes with a Necromunda bulkhead terrain set, including 5 barricades and 2 doors, 2 double-sided paper playing surfaces representing the desolate depths of the Underhells, 176-page softback Necromunda Hive Secundus rulebook contains lashings of lore and rules for playing games of Necromunda, excluding vehicle rules, as well as self-contained Underhells campaign in which Secundan incursion gangs risk their lives to loot pitch black ruins swarming with gene stealers. There's some artwork on that rulebook. Let's have a quick look at these. So here we got the Malstrain. I think these gene stealers are very funky. I sort of like them more than I thought I would. I like the brood scum as well. There is the prime thing, I believe, and there are these floaty Tyra Watsits there as well. I didn't really get into the previous expansion to Necromunda, the Ash Wastelands. I thought I was going to. I do have the box set for the Ash Waste Nomads gang, and that's about it. I probably opened an unboxing on my blog over at gloriousminiatures.com, which will be going live properly, hopefully within a week-ish. And here we go. Here are the Vansar with some very cool outfits, as always. I do like the Vansar. Some Spire hunters as well, and there's one of those blue, I don't know, blue winged baby things. I know it's not a baby, but whatever. Very cool indeed. That's the artwork for the book. You'll also get a deck of Hive Secundus cards featuring Archeo loot cards, Underhells territory cards, Malstrain Forces fighter cards, and blank fighter cards, as well as a token board, a ruler, 2 blast markers, and a flamer template, 2 rules reference sheets, and 16 Necromunda dice. Hell yes. So I think this, I didn't get the Skaven Tide box set. I know many people did. I do have technically a bit of a Skaven army for Age of Sigmar. It's all unpainted though. And I am going to get a couple of the miniatures just to sort of paint up. But this is really going to be the purchase, I think, that I will be going in on. For now, at least. Got a week until that time comes. And here's the Hive data stack cluster. So here's a bit of scenery to fight over. Always very good. I wish they'd come out with more scenery, to be brutally honest. I think more scenery is good for both Necromunda, 40k, and Horus Heresy. Obviously, it's just like the tech stuff rather than, it's obviously not going to be good for the Old World and Age of Sigmar, etc., etc. But you know, more scenery for like future and olden times is a great thing. I wish they'd bring back the various bits of kit from the Old World or sort of Warhammer Fantasy scenery as well. I won't go off on a tangent. So, Hive data stack clusters are packed with invaluable data crystals from a forgotten age of enlightenment. This box will allow you to furnish your Hive Secundus boards with 2 of these, which feature additional storage alcoves and removable data crystal stacks. Okie dokie. Good stuff. More scenery, as I was just saying. Great, I love it. Ruin Zone Mortalis. Okay, well, I'm going to have to get this. Transform your terrain board into a shattered innards of Hive Secundus with the ruined Zone Mortalis set. It contains 24 pieces of terrain, including damaged and ruined columns, walls, and doors that can be used on their own or combined with existing Zone Mortalis terrain kits, plus a whole selection of extra detritus to really add atmosphere and interest to your boards. Fantastic. I definitely going to get one of these. Question is, do I get two? I can imagine quite a lot of people will be getting these box sets. I've got so much scenery to paint anyway, but I just can't wait for all of this. Can't wait to be back in the studio finally painting again. So we've got the proxy and the fixer right here. Look at that fantastic hair. Look at the ruff around the neck. Fantastic trousers. Look at the sleeves, the cuffs on this. Ah, majestic. Managing relationships between factions is every bit as important as winning violent skirmishes, which makes these two hangers-on valuable assets for any ambitious gang leader. The proxy acts as a middleman between the guilders and the outlaw gangs, dressed in aristocratic finery to really sell his legitimacy. Fixer is a no-nonsense individual who comes in to ease tensions with the guilders when they're at their lowest point. Both miniatures are made from sweet forgeworld resin. Okay, lovely jubbly. We got Carta Galactica, the Secundan Exclusion Zone. Adorn the walls of your gang hideout with this new poster map of the Secundan Exclusion Zone, measuring 1 meter by 89 centimeters. The large poster that details the area of the ash wastes known as the Secundan Exclusion Zone. It is packed full of details and Easter eggs for a long-term Necromunda fans to obsess over. The new studio does need some artwork going up the sort of stairs. Potentially this could be the first bit to adorn its walls. There aren't many walls because it's mostly angled sort of ceiling. I've only got a bit of flat area to hang paper off. So maybe I've got to choose it wisely. Anyway, we've got Warhammer The Old World right now. Let's have a look at this. Dwarfen Mountain Holds, Arcane Journal. Okay then. Expand your army beyond the list found in the Forces of Fantasy book with Arcane Journal. Dwarfen Mountain Holds, a 48-page supplement featuring new rules, background lore, and scenarios. You'll find profiles for 3 named characters, all 3 of whom were also at large during the era of Karl Franz, and a host of special units, including the legendary Goblin Hero. Oh no. Oh wait, and more Dogs of War options. Oh no. There are 2 armies of infamy allowing you to field a royal clan and expeditionary force, as well as new runes and runic tattoos. I was thinking about the Goblin Hero just the other day as well. And I also, okay, before we scroll down here, I'm going to say if they come back with Dogs of War, the Dwarven Pirates, Long Drong Slayers, I'm going to have a major issue. I'm going to basically have to get in on this. We'll see. Okay, so we've got the Dwarven Mountain Holds Battalion, okay, box set. Lay the foundations of a legendary army with a battalion box jammed with ornery bearded warriors. A solid battle line of 32 dwarf warriors is supported by a further 32 quarrelers, which can also be built as gun-wielding thunderers, while 2 gyrocopters soar overhead, spitting deadly firepower or dropping destructive bombs when alternately built as gyrobombers. So I have been very tempted to actually potentially paint some dwarves for the first time. I'm really waiting for the Empire to come out so I can bring back a knightly order to go back to Mordheim, best game of all time, and bring it back to its former glory. However, so this is a very good, I guess, pretty good box set. Bunch of miniatures. Happy days. Right, so who's going to be interested in getting their hands on the Dwarven Mountain Holds? Anyone interested in this? We got the Dwarven Mountain Holds reference card pack, dice set, and transfer sheet right here. Add to your collection with a set of reference cards and thematic dice. Pack of 56 cards lets you quickly reference rules and runic abilities in the heat of battle, while each of 20 dice is cast in stone grey plastic with gold pips and Dwarven Mountain Holds emblem on the 6 face. Then if you don't fancy hand painting runic emblems all over your throng, a massive sheet of 962 transfers will do the trick. This collection includes runic emblems for many of your major Dwarven characters, plus a full set of 260 Glencairn runes. That's the dwarf alphabet, in case you didn't know. So you can spell out your favourite Khazalid, butchering these words, insults along the barrels of your cannons. Well, that's always a good thing, I guess. Okay, let's have a butcher's here. We've got Ungrim Iron Fist, the Slayer King of Carrick Cadrin. The Slayer King is back and ready to hack up the meanest, ugliest monsters he can find. Ungrim Iron Fist is a legendary dwarf character represented here in his earlier years, still wielding the mighty axe of Dargo and wearing the Slayer crown, and he's still a spectacularly lethal fighter who can slay powerful enemies outright with a lucky roll. This miniature is made from sweet forgeworld resin. I think that is an amazing crown, gold-tipped horns, massive axe, what's not to like. We've got dwarf lords with shield bearers. Hey, there we go. Look at that bad boy. The most experienced and respected dwarf lords are carried into battle atop heavy shields, which serve as both a reminder of their station and a convenient platform from which to split skulls. This pack of plastic dwarf characters contains a Thane on foot and a king carried by 3 dedicated bodyguards with interchangeable weapons, allowing one to wield a hand weapon and a shield, while the other swings a hefty great weapon. Okay, so this is plastic, lovely stuff. We've got a dwarf Thane here with a handgun on Oathstone, whatever that is. Okay, it's a thing. So we've got dwarf leaders from the northern clans often plant rune-inscribed Oathstones onto the battlefield. Okay then, from which they can fight and command troops. These are more than just elevated platforms. The runes tell of the clan's honor, legacy, and great deeds. And the presence of one renders a unit completely immune to panic tests. Well, that's always a good thing. This miniature is made from forgeworld resin. Okay, that's a forgeworld one. We have some classic dwarf characters here. Right. Lead your throng to victory with the return of some classic miniatures, including runesmiths and engineers to support your new lords in battle. The dwarf command set contains 3 resin miniatures, a Thane with a battle standard, a king on foot, and a Slayer of Legend used to represent either a Dragon Slayer or Demon Slayer, while the Slayer command set comes with a musician, battle standard bearer, and 2 alternate Slayers. Okay, so we do have I did always like this banner bearer with the stone troll head on it. I've always thought that was pretty funky. We've also got some troops right here. See the word mercenaries, I'm slightly concerned. A dwarfen army would be nothing without its legions of dependable, durable troops, and these classic kits are a great way to bulk out your burgeoning force. Warriors, slayers, hammerers, and ironbreakers are all powerful, close combat troops who trade speed for raw toughness and grit, while quarrelers, which can be alternately built as thunderers, add ranged firepower that can still get work done should they be caught up in the melee. Okay then, so we do have all of that sort of stuff, very good. We've got the various slayers there and hammerers and axe bearers and all that nonsense. We've got the dwarf mercenaries right here. Okay. Oh, these are very classic. Those dwarfs who live among the Empire will march to war in the panoply of their human allies, hefting spears instead of their usual axes, and these Imperial dwarfs can be added to your Dogs of War contingent with 2 sets of classic metal miniatures. Likewise, the exceptionally crazed slayers known as Doom Seekers also return to battle, packing 4 metal miniatures into 1 pack with their distinctive chained axe blades. Yeah, that seems very, very unwieldy, especially if the axe, like if the chain actually gets knocked first before the axe head. We got some Empire dwarves. I'm going to have to get these just because I've not seen these in absolute ages, and honestly, I think I'm just going to have to get them, even if I don't use them. And those are the Doom Seekers there with very unwieldy axes. We've got some classic dwarf war engines right here. More than any other army in the world of legend, dwarfs love their war machines. And the industrious engineers have invented a wide variety of ways to slaughter their enemies from long distances. The grudge thrower and bolt thrower use tried and tested methods to hurl huge rocks and bolts deep into enemy formations, while the more esoteric goblin hewer and flame cannon butcher swathes of infantry with a barrage of hurled axes or spewed fire. I do remember seeing this. This is what I was specifically thinking about the other day. Would this come back? Apparently it is. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. There's the flame. I've already forgotten what it's called. The flame belcher. Very nice. Obviously bolt thrower and stone thrower is very good stuff. But we also got the Anvil of Doom and Bugman's Cart. Fantastic stuff. We couldn't have a big dwarf release without two of the most iconic units, could we? The Anvil of Doom is a powerful focus for runic energies that allows a Forgefather to strike freshly forged runes upon its mighty surface, instilling nearby dwarves with the powerful boons that harden their armor and instill their warriors with vigor. When the Throng needs an extra turn of speed, it can also turn to the non-magical, yet no less potent, power of Bugman's 6X, carted around by sturdy draft ponies and distributed to nearby warriors to boost their speed. Well, that's always a very good thing. Anvil of Doom. We really are going back in time. And there's the... Okay, then, that's fantastic. Who's interested in this stuff? With Necromunda as well, this could be potentially a painful week. But in 40k, we have the Depth of Sororitas datasheet cards right here. Spend less time leafing through your codex and more time invoking divine miracles with a set of datasheet cards for Adept of Sororitas armies. This pack of 35 quick reference cards. Make sure you have your army rule and unit datasheets close at hand, and also includes a set of combat patrol cards so you can play quick fire skirmish games. Always a good thing. We got a Black Library Special Edition in the form of Dead Men Walking. Classic Steve Lyons novel Dead Men Walking returns in a premium special edition version next week. After mining operations awake vengeful Necrons, the death core of Krieg are brought in, and the death toll rapidly rises as two remorseless forces face off. This version comes with a gorgeous canvas cover with screen printed art, black printed page edges, and a brown ribbon bookmark. It is signed by the author, uniquely numbered, and contains a foreword and a short story, Left for Dead. Copies will be limited, so make sure you're ready on Saturday. Alright, okay. Followed by Sons of Fenris. Also on a 1-week pre-order is the audiobook Sons of Fenris by Lee Leitner. Ragnar Blackmane and his Wolfblade brothers are sent to investigate a chaos incursion on the planet Hyades. But when they arrive, they butt heads with their old rivals, the Dark Angels, and the situation quickly gets out of hand. There's New Age of Sigmar, 19th of July 2024, Hangout and Paint. That's going to be up at Warhammer World, I believe, but it will also be on their YouTube channel, although you should probably be already smashing that subscribe button, tickling the like button, making sure those notifications are enabled on this channel first before you even consider going over there. However, who is interested in stuff coming up this Sunday? The Necromunda stuff for me is incredibly tempting. I think that's first on my list. I am genuinely... I'm umming and ahhing mentally over the dwarves. I'm probably going to end up printing them out myself. I have a merchant license from Island Miniatures, and I will be doing... I may very well end up printing my entire dwarf army via them. Via my web store, which will be going live pretty soon, in fact, over at gloriousminiatures.com. Do consider subscribing to the newsletter. That will get you a 15% off discount off your first order, and also hear about stuff first there. So do consider that. Necromunda is probably going to be the most interested. I might get a couple of dwarves, like the characters, just for painting, and that's about it. I suspect last week, I know I've been saying this for ages, and I'm rather wary about saying it yet again. I think if the window can go in, though, this week into the studio, I think next Sunday is probably going to be the last video in this format. I really hope it is. It really depends if the builders are able to do it in time and get everything sort of organized. And then we will eventually start trading this out and doing a Sunday evening hobby stream instead over on YouTube. Here on YouTube, in fact. So yes, do make sure that you subscribed, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you, and goodbye.